You're looking at the Hired Gun podcast with your host, the Hired Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. How you doing, y'all? So, nah, I want you to listen here. Friday, I won't be on here. Okay? There's no wrestling to talk about on Friday because SmackDown comes on early on Friday. Won't be a show Friday. Saturday, gotta see you Saturday. Alright? And then I gotta talk about SmackDown. Alright, so let's get into it. So AEW was last night, and I said this a couple times. AEW is known for having great pay per views, right? And they get everything they got on these pay per views. So much that when Wednesday happens, they don't got they don't got uh they don't have anything left to give. And I'm not gonna say it was like that to yesterday, but it was though. It was. I mean, listen. So I didn't know there was gonna be 3 hours of AEW last night. And listen, and maybe I'm biased, right? When I say this, the only time I want to watch 3 hours of wrestling is when it's the E. Right, I'm gonna say I'm biased towards that because of one thing. I grew up watching WWE, so like I'm used to it from them, right? Right. So it was 3 hours. So some of this has to do with they don't want to compete with the E on any weekends. Even though they're still coming on for an hour of collision on Saturday. It's Saturday. I think it's Saturday. All right. Right. But they gave 3 hours, and I think they also doing that to see how many people will watch a 3 hour show on AEW. God bless. Now I watched it because hey, I want like the wife said, this is the life I chose. So I watched all 3 hours. Um, and it's not like they didn't have the heavy hitters on TV. Now were they on different shows? Yes, because Will Ospreay, even though he was on Dynamite, he didn't wrestle. Swerve was on that, he didn't wrestle. John Moxley was on. He didn't wrestle on Dynamite. He wrestled on Collision. Will Ospreay wrestled on Collision. Um, you had people who didn't wrestle on Wednesday, and what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I understand you gotta give people rest and shit like that, but what are we doing now? We also had two on hard um, matches on this card. You had who did you have? You had Jungle Boy, and for people who don't know who that is, that's Jack Perry's son in real life. Uh, Jungle Boy, and then people who don't know who Jack Perry is, God bless. So now we're doing all right. From back in the day. So it was Jungle Boy against Mark Davis. Um, and so who should win this? One. Mark Davis should beat Jungle Boy because he beat him before for the title he got. Alright? And then it leads up to a story that Mark Davis beat Will Ospreay a couple weeks ago. He didn't pin him, but the ref had to stop the match, and that's the story. And then over Will Ospreay had a Now the promo he did saying that you beat me at 50%, now try to beat me at 100%, 100%. You know, and that's cool. Okay, all right. Um, and then you had who was the other match? Oh, Cesaro versus Brody King. Brody King won, as you should, because Brody King is on fight. Swerve again. They fought before, and Swerve won. Swerve's gonna win again, because he should win, because this Owen Hart tournament is meant for two people. Two, two. Will Ospreay and Swerve. Now, listen. You gotta know how I feel about Swerve. You gotta know how I feel about Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's gonna win. Will Ospreay's gonna win because Swerve already got a win on him already. Will Ospreay's gonna win because Will is gonna be champion. He's going to Wembley and he's gonna be champ. That's what's gonna happen here. As soon as this tournament was made, the two people that was on me in the finals, when they put this together, was Swerve and Will Ospreay. It's gonna happen. No way around it. Ain't no way around that one. That is it. That is the match. All right. All this other stuff is just extra fat. But Dynamite was okay. All right. It's like you had these hot picks, and again, Double or Nothing was the best pay per view this year. Period. And then they came out flat for this show. Now, was the Mark Davis, and here's another problem you have. Your main event for Wednesday was Mark Davis versus Jungle Boy. There's nothing against Jungle Boy or Mark Davis. They shouldn't be the main event. They shouldn't. Now they had a good match, so there's that. They had a good match, alright, and that was it. Now we also got on this show, Kevin Knight came out and explained himself. Now, listen, y'all know I don't like The Rock, alright, and how you be treated yourself. So Kevin Knight came out there and he was acting like The Rock. He was like the jet this and the jet that and why the jet did this and he got hurt and the jet, like he was talking in the third person. That's what he was doing. Right? And listen, like him being the heel is him being the heel. Alright? And the promo was okay. Alright, and he got some cheap heat because they was in Philly, so he talked about the Sixers. Alright? And he got some cheap heat, which is cool. That's what you're supposed to do if you want the fans to boo you or to get some kind of reaction, because bad reaction is still good reaction. Alright, you just don't want no reaction. Alright? You don't want no reaction, and you don't want go home heat and never come back heat. Definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Yeah, but the show was okay. The show was okay. The show was okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
I just want you to know if it has not rained, bud, you're off. 3:30 is approaching. I am
y'all. Tell her hi. So hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So I'm doing a podcast right now, right? But that's not true though, because Ryan watches my podcast, and he knows for a fact. And this is somebody on the podcast, by the way, so just letting y'all know. Alright? Alright. He knows for a fact that I wasn't doing a podcast every day this week because of how Raw and SmackDown are going to be for the next couple of weeks. But again, I'm doing this podcast right now, so it is what it is. So back to live broadcast. So y'all had heard the wife, and y'all heard me talk about the boys right now. So Gunther's been on TV. No, he did an interview. All right, like Cody's the biggest. Like when it comes to wrestlers, Cody's the biggest star. He's the face, right? He's been on more ESPN stuff. Okay, all right, and they're gonna be on a free show. So, the free hour show for the pay per view. I don't think Gunther's gonna win. He should win. He should win, but I don't think he's gonna win. They giving that shit for free. Now, the the switch on which belt means more has, and Cody can say this till he blue in the face, that his title means more, or his title is the biggest title in the company, and that's a lie. Like Cody's saying what he's supposed to say, right? But it's a lie. It's a lie. And I'm a Cody's fan. You know this, right? But that title hasn't been that important since Roman won that title, that won the heavyweight title. Okay, all right. Cody can say his title is the most important title all he wants to now. All right, and he's supposed to believe that shit. All right, it's the truth. He's supposed to, and he's supposed to say it. He's not supposed to downgrade and say he got the second, fifth. No one does that, right? Right, but we know. We know, and this is how we know. Cody's championship match is on uh, the free part of the pay per view, of PLEs, right now, right? And the Roman and Jacob are main event. The part you gotta pay for. Not paying for shit. So, so now, the only way, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Let me say this now. I hope I'm wrong. The only way that 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 this was on the main event if we get a title change. Now, I could be completely fucking wrong on this one here, right? And we still get a title change. I also think Orton is gonna come and defend this match. Either at the end or in the middle. And I just feel like Orton is gonna interfere in this match in some shape or form. And we also gotta see what happened Friday. Like on the Go Home show. Not for Orton, just in general. And then we can go from there. Um, I still think there should be at least a six match on this card because again, I'm not paying for this, right? But if you're having an hour free for ESPN to watch on ESPN, right? Because the numbers ain't the money and numbers not matching up for them to do the whole thing on there, right? But if you're getting an hour free, that means two fucking matches. Two two matches are gonna be on this card. All right, like on the free part. So meaning you're still paying $30 a month for for three matches. Now, sometimes, not sometimes, right? In a month, you're probably getting two pay per views from them. All right, so you're really not paying for three matches. You're paying for six, right? You think it that way. That's still not enough for me. All right, this should be at least six. I said seven before, but if I'm not being petty, all right, and greedy about this, this should be at least six matches on this card. When you're not leading into a UFC card or anything, and again, that is horseshit because WWE is making more money than UFC. Okay, you can tell who a WWE like if you're in an airport or in a store or in a hotel. All right, I can tell you a wrestler before I can tell you a UFC fighter. Plain and simple. All right, all right. I, they having this UFC thing at the White House, right? And you know what? You know who else is gonna be there? Fucking wrestlers. Because a UFC fighter can hit me in the fucking face, and I can't tell you who the fuck that is now. So you know, we love jab at UFC. Fuck Dana White. Sorry, y'all. So, but at least Gunther's getting interview time, right? All right, they're making that obvious who's gonna win. Now again, I hope I'm because I want Gunther to win. Now, I will say this now you know, there's a certain person who's not a fan of Gunther that I talk to on a regular basis, Carson, right? And Carson's a big Undertaker fan, and the Undertaker said that Gunther is his guy, right? So if now mind you, Carson's not the only person that doesn't like Gunther. Now he's the only person I know that doesn't like Gunther that I talk to, you know. But there are other fans who think that Gunther's not it, and for those people, God bless them. They don't know ball. I'm not saying Carter doesn't. I'm not saying Carter doesn't know ball. Right? He has a specific type of wrestler that he likes, and that's cool. So do I. So do I. I think Gunther is top three in ring wrestlers in the E right now. Top three, maybe top two. Right? He's not one. That's Seth. I'm not giving that. That's Seth. After that, we can move the boat, move the what's it, we can move the pole for who's number two, number three, number four. Seth is one. All right. You know, if you want to put Mello up in there, see, I think it's too soon for that. Put Mello up in there. If you want to put Roman in there, I will. If you want to put Dragunov in there, I will. We can talk about it then. If you want to put Drew in there, we can talk about it then. But one and two, there's no talk. Now, if we put women in this, it's Io. Io's one. and it's not close. Eagles won. Eagles won, and like it's not, and like after that we can talk about whoever you want to talk about then. But Eagles won. Um, I don't think they gave us the second match. If they did, I don't remember. I don't think they gave us the second match for that card. I like also win a free show. Oh, they did. No, they did. They did. They did. They did. And then now, this is another reason why I think Gunther's not winning. All right, because they got Rhea and Jade on that card, and Jade is losing. Right? Like if you thought Jade was winning Saturday's night main event when she got the win, it's telling you not. Jay's not winning. All right, which is another reason why I think Cody's not losing because you got two free title matches on the card, on the free part. Now, mind you, there's five there's five matches on this card. You got Jade versus Rhea, title match. You got Becky versus Soruga, title match. You got Cody versus oh, okay. So four title matches on this card, and then you got Rock and over, alright, on this card. Okay, so out of four of the out of 40 matches, you got title matches. So Rhea's winning, Soul's winning, uh, Roman's winning. Yeah, okay. So the only way I can see Gunther winning is because of the fact that you don't want everybody to win the title. Now, mind you, Gunther's gonna be a homeboy for this one here. Like they're gonna cheer for Gunther on this one, which they didn't want to do. They didn't want. Now I think they don't care now. I think they don't care now because it has to happen. Like they going overseas, them boys act different. Now the crowd's gonna be the crowd. The crowd's gonna be amazing over there. Something that we can't get right over here. All right, and then the money, the crowd, like the money they spend over there, they spend. So another reason why they're going over there because they spend money over there. But I'm looking forward to this card now. Listen, I hope this card is great on Sunday. I do. I and I hope I come in here uh, sa- uh I come in here Monday and I tell y'all which boy I come in here Monday, but it'll be after Raw. It'll be after Raw. The Raw's gonna be on earlier, but um I hope I come in here Monday and I say, you know what? Uh, Attack on Italy was great. It was amazing. Alright, it was a great show. Top five, two uh, pay per view of the year. Right now on paper, it has every ability to be that on paper. All right, and before Double or Nothing came on, so last weekend, I can tell you that this pay per view coming up this Sunday, was probably gonna be a banger. It probably gonna be the best pay per view of the year. Can't say that, man. Like I can't say that, man. All right, I'm hoping this show is good. All right, now there's some flaws in this show. I don't think Rhea and Jade can do a better match than what they did at Mania. So that's that. There's that. The Cody and Gunther match is gonna deliver. The Jacob and Roman, and we're gonna get a good match out of that too, right? Uh, I don't know after that. We just don't have to see. We just don't have to go. We don't have to see for ourselves on how this card plays out. I think this is a good card. I do. I think he's better than Backlash on paper. I think he's better than. Nah, I don't think he's better than Mania. Because you have more matches. But it's definitely better than Backlash. On paper, it's better than Backlash. And Backlash wasn't a bad pay per view. It wasn't. It wasn't. Because I like the Backlash. I did. So, but on paper, this card has the ability. I wish the Roman and not Roman. I wish the Braun and Seth match was on that card, on this card. I do. I do. But we here now. Did they add something tomorrow? Yes. I doubt it. I'm not holding my breath for it. I drown. You know. But I'm gonna end the show with that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Again, I won't be on here tomorrow. Brian. Alright, I will see y'all Saturday. See y'all Saturday. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch E-Feds, New Breed. This is the High Gun Podcast. God bless, love you. I'm out.